Mentioned earlier today, the U.S. Supreme Court did confirm the authenticity of the leaked draft, the leaked ruling that would overturn Roe v. Wade. And Chief Justice John Roberts ordered an investigation, calling the extraordinary leak a betrayal of the confidence of the court. Meanwhile, Democrats appear to be using, I think, old talking points from Republicans.
Several of these conservative justices, who are in no way accountable to the American people, have lied to the U.S. Senate, ripped up the Constitution, and defiled both precedent and the Supreme Court's reputation.
It's interesting. That was Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer earlier today. Now that the court is not doing their bidding, they're shredding the Constitution, and they're unaccountable to the people. Joining me now is Senator Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee. She is a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Senator Blackburn, welcome back to the program.
It is good to join you. Thank you so much for having me on.
So, Senator, I want to jump right to this. What is your reaction to this leaked draft ruling?
Tony, what we have to realize, first of all, is that this was done by someone who is trying to do harm to an associate justice of the Supreme Court. They're trying to do harm to the institution and to the process. As justices hear a case, discuss a case, do writings and conversations back and forth, call their vote, and then write their opinion, there are many documents and conversations that take place. And having a leftist activist who was there, who is willing to risk their career on going ahead and exposing this, is something that does attack the integrity of the court. Justice Roberts is correct in calling for the marshal of the court to conduct an investigation, and whomever did this, and I am certain that they will know sooner rather than later, whether it's someone from the left or the right, then they should be punished to the full extent.
Will it have its intended effect? As you said, it's trying to intimidate. It's trying to, I think it's an act of desperation. It shows how significant this ruling is. Do you think this could cause some of the justices to back up?
My hope would be that justices who have cast their vote and held their opinion would hold that opinion. But I think what we have to do first, before we get to a decision, and there will be time to talk about that decision when it is rendered and talk about it in the appropriate time frame. But right now, what we have to look at is the damage that is done to the court, to the fact that you have leftist organizations, a lot of these leftist dark money organizations, Arabella Group, Demand Justice, and others that are looking at how they can influence the court. Basically, what they're doing is carrying out an influence, a malign influence campaign against the court. This is unprecedented, and that's why the individual responsible has to be held to account. We need to be able to depend on our institutions, and people have felt that the federal judiciary was an area where you did not have these leaks, that many times you have leaks that are coming out of the White House or coming out of Congress, leaks that are intended to hurt individuals or different policy discussions. But you have not seen that in the courts until today.
That's a really good point, because this does fit with the pattern that we've seen from these dark money groups of trying to intimidate the court. Arabella, as you made reference to. You know, what's interesting, and maybe I missed it, but I did not hear any of your colleagues on the Democratic side of the aisle saying anything about the leak of the document. They were all up in arms about the fact that the court might take away abortion and send it back to the states to determine what the people want.
That is so true. And at this point, I still have not heard one of my colleagues step forward and condemn the action of the leaker and support the Chief Justice and the court in finding out who did this and punishing them. I think it's also important to note, Tony, this does not ban abortion, as those on the left have taken to the steps of the Supreme Court today to declare that this would ban abortion, that it would end a woman's right to choose, which is really interesting to me, being that a few weeks ago in the confirmation hearing for Justice Jackson, they could not define what is a woman. But what they are doing is misleading. This simply sends the issue of how to deal with abortion back to the states, and it will allow the states. This is federalism. Send it to the states and let the various and separate states decide how they want to address the issue of abortion.
You are absolutely correct, and they would not want the American people to know that. They are acting as if the court is going to do what the court did 50 years ago, and that is impose something on the American people. It's the exact opposite. Senator Marsha Blackburn, always great to talk with you, and thank you because you are a part of this decision and your leadership on the issue of life and so many other issues on Capitol Hill. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.